Hey guys, my name is Rachel with Highlands Artistry and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week we are going to be talking about week 2 of the Plein Airpril challenge, where the theme, for me at least, was perseverance. There was a lot of barriers this week, a lot of obstacles for recording this video. I'm currently recording this on Saturday the 18th and hopefully I get it uploaded today too, but we'll see how today goes. But between my son not cooperating or not having long naps, being interrupted, just house things, life things. I mean, you all know how it goes, especially if you're a mama. And to be honest, the week 2 of Plein Airpril felt a little bit tumultuous, though I was still excited about my supplies. I'm referencing my refreshed gouache palette and then the addition of phthalo blue to my mini watercolor palette. I was still excited about those two things, but I was definitely losing steam and losing inspiration. Or maybe I was losing confidence in my abilities. Pockets of time felt shorter. I found myself taking shortcuts. I found myself also painting 2 to 3 paintings in one session just to pretend that I was keeping up, but honestly, I'm not, and that's okay. Sometimes I would even dread getting my art supplies out because I would get set up. I'd get my butt in that chair, I'd get all my supplies, and I'm sitting there, paper and brush in hand, and all of a sudden the baby monitor starts going off. So I promise you, this video is not all about complaining. I really am here to show you, or to be honest, and to show you what I was able to create amidst such a busy week and a mentally taxing week. So let's go. So I did miss painting outside on the 8th, but I did film, edit, and upload my last video, that Plein Airpril week 1. So I was not outside painting, but I definitely was being creative in other ways. So if you guys did miss that video, be sure to go back and give that one a watch. The 9th was absolutely beautiful outside. I was still feeling excited about my refreshed gouache palette, so I grabbed my backpack and I headed outside. First, I painted one of my old silver maple trees, and it's covered in moss. The tree was mostly backlit, the sun was illuminating small patches of moss on the tree, and it was also lighting up my daffodils in the foreground. And it was lighting up my daffodils in that bright green that only springtime can produce. I felt guilty about missing the 8th, so I did 2 paintings on the 9th. The second painting was of daffodil bulbs that haven't quite bloomed yet. This presented a challenge because, in contrast to the solid and steady tree, when the wind was whipping, the leaves of my flowers were dancing around too, making it impossible to capture consistent shadows. My time was cut short this day, so I had to leave this one a bit unrefined or unfinished. The 10th by far was my favorite day. This morning was beautiful already. I didn't have to wait for the day to warm up before heading outside. I dragged my son's pack and play outside, loaded him up with snacks before getting my mini watercolor kit out and ready to play. I painted an outhouse birdhouse, and I know the angles look really awkward, but it's like a tilted roof. Let's see. So I painted the outhouse birdhouse we have on our property, and yes, you are catching on that I am a bit of a country bumpkin, if you will. Anyway, I absolutely love the way this one turned out. The way the sun was hitting the tree from the east and casting shadows on those rear branches was chef's kiss. I'm also falling even more in love with this Edger sketchbook each time that I use it. That and having a whimsical little subject to paint made for an enjoyable experience outside. The 11th, I used my Portal Painter Micro again. This painting session was interrupted, and I never got around to finishing this mini rhododendron painting. I had a really hard time seeing true colors of this day because the sun was so bright and the leaves were reflecting pure white, but I digress. So sometimes our little paintings don't turn out the way we want, or they just don't get finished. The 12th I skipped because we were hosting my in-laws. I spent the morning at church, then proceeded to make the best Tuscan chicken and homemade garlic knots that I've ever made before welcoming the in-laws into our home. It was such a great day together, and it definitely filled my cup. I did miss the 13th too, though I did make what I believe to be the most beautiful piece that I've ever made. Not plein air, but I had quality time in my studio. I am planning a series based off of this painting too, so stay tuned for that in the coming weeks. Tuesday the 14th, I painted a daffodil in under 15 minutes since the sun was currently shining, but the weather alert to my phone warned me of looming thunderstorms. I was a salty girl on Tuesday, something about waking up on the wrong side of the bed. So the fact that I like the way that this daffodil turned out is a miracle in itself. I played with both lemon yellow and new gamboge to get the lighting just right on the yellow flower. I also used some burnt sienna in the shadows, and it was adding both warmth and depth at the same time. Finishing out this week with a painting titled Burnt Out. It's one of my son's toy blocks, and I painted it in under 3 minutes, and it was totally painted out of guilt for feeling like I botched this week. But as I film this video and reflect on the week, I no longer feel that I botched it. Seeing these 6 pieces laid out in front of me shows me that there is beauty in perseverance. There's also a couple lessons that I learned this week. I do love the addition of that phthalo blue to the Portable Painter Micro, but ultramarine is still my favorite color. Phthalo blue adds a vibrancy to mixes that cannot be achieved with ultramarine alone. Now that week 2 is over, I believe I want to make another adjustment to this palette. I'm mixing a lot more purple this week, either in florals or in my shadows. But my purple mixes right now feel dull, even if I am using phthalo blue. So I believe my alizarin crimson quinacridone is the culprit. I don't want to replace her, but maybe I do want to make a split pan instead, and maybe add something like a rose madder permanent. Another lesson that I learned is that I am a big fan of using watered down burnt sienna in my shadows, especially in the daffodil. I have not painted a lot of yellow subjects in the past, but it presents a unique challenge. Using burnt sienna in my shadows keeps the warmth of the subject while adding depth. And apparently we have a little friend here. I apologize if this video felt like I was a bit of a Debbie Downer, but on the bright side, I was still able to get outside and paint 4 out of the 7 days, which is not terrible. I am still very proud of myself for showing up and still creating something amidst a mentally taxing week. If you watched the video this far, thank you so much. You are my people, and if you are still here, let's make it awkward. Let's share a fun fact about yourself, like it's the first day of a college class. If you could give this video a thumbs up, it really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an upload, and so you can follow along with the rest of this Plein Airpril journey, whatever that looks like, and God, please give me strength and endurance to finish out this month. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, stay creative, stay faithful, and stay rooted in grace. Bye, guys.